probably lose some tails.
There he is.
Got him.
Well, it ain't very big. There, that's what's getting us right there, son. Today, folks, look at that.
That's a pretty one there.
Yeah, we're bluegill hunting today at Apache Lake with my good buddy Matt. Matt, look at that. We were wondering what was pecking at us here.
I think we kind of knew.
Look, 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 look.
Yeah, you can lip them.
That is what's down there. Just a ton of those little guys, huh?
There's a bunch of them, and I'll tell you, they're fun to catch, but you can tell the difference in the bites. You know, a bass a lot of times just be that solid thump, and those kind of, we call it machine gunning it. You know, so we had a pretty good hunch that that's what they were. They're good sized bluegills.
Yeah, you can find a lot of fish out here, and you're getting, you know, thumped, like he said, and you get those little, like you say, the machine gun.
Just real fast bites.
And man, I'll tell you what. I'm like, oh, I've got one, I've got one. I was curious to see what was hitting out there. Well, we know. But you know what eats bluegill?
Everything. Bass, catfish.
Yeah, they love that. So,
makes them big.
We'll get out here and get in this stuff and see if we can't get us a big fish. You know, these fish right now, we're here during the late summer, I guess.
Yeah.
And nights are starting to cool down a little bit. It's actually bearable to come out and fish, especially to get me off the mountain. But I'll tell you what, you still got to fish somewhat deep, it seems like, to catch some of these fish. We'll find out what depth they're in. We just got here.
Yeah, and this is the time of year where you can catch them shallow and deep. We're kind of in that transition time. So.
Yeah. There we go, son. Not a giant, but a good one. Get that crankbait.
Got to take what you can get today.
You bet. A little Apache Lake bass.
He was up there shallow, huh?
Come on, dude. Huh?
He was up there shallow.
Yeah, he was. Come on. All right. When the wind starts blowing like this, a lot of times you can pick up a crankbait. We were just talking about it.
I picked up a jerkbait.
Yeah. Yeah, that jerkbait. Matt's really good with that. But catch some of those reaction fish, because it really stirs up the water on these rocks. And if there's any fish, especially here in the morning like this,
right,
we might be able to catch some fish. Figure we might cover a little bit of water, throw in some cranks, jerk baits, see if we can catch something, and then get into some areas we can drop shot in and sit on those areas for a little bit, maybe.
Look for some bigger fish.
Yeah.
But that, you know, you try to establish a pattern, and that fish was in what, 3-4 foot of water probably.
Yeah, he wasn't that deep.
And
so,
you know, I know a lot of guys are catching them in that 20 to 30 foot of water. So
yes,
you know, always fish shallow and deep, you know, and if you're not getting a bit shallow, back out deeper.
And that's a 6XD. So what's cool about that is it gets deep enough where you can really thump these rocks, and it's just hammering those rocks down there, just ricocheting off those rocks, digging up the bottom, and fish can't stand that, man. When they're in the feed mode, they'll go right after it. So we'll try it, we'll give it a shot. The wind's blowing, it's a perfect day for reaction, so we'll give it a shot. Yeah. You can't force feed the fish. You can come out with a predetermined idea of what you want to do, and the fish will tell you something different every time.
Well, you only made a couple casts with that and caught one, so maybe you're onto something.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
There's one.
Did you get one? That's what we're looking at right there.
You know what? That could be exactly what we're looking at too, along with the bluegills.
All those little yellow bass. Now look at that bass. Now that gives me an idea.
I was just thinking that we got a crankbait that looks just like one.
Don't we have one like that? Hold on a minute.
Absolutely.
Look at that. Look at how well they did that bait. Make it look like the yellow bass.
And a bass will eat that.
Yeah.
Like candy.
You want to tie that on?
No, go ahead.
Oh. Got one. Got one.
All right.
Come on.
Feel good?
Oh, he's probably better than that first one I caught. What in the world? He's pretty good.
You're snagged.
No, he's coming out. He's coming out. There he is. Nice fish.
Treble hooks. I'm just going to get the net for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's a good one. Cool.
Oh,
they're healthy here, no doubt, huh?
Yeah. That's a crankbait fish. I just swapped that up to what you just caught.
Yep. And that color is a little brighter too, you know, in the stained water. So
Yeah, he's a good fish, brother. I can't get him up.
I'll tell you what. They're
He's
strong.
It's the way I got him hooked, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
It's foul hook. That was a nice fish right there.
Oh, he swiped at that thing. Look at that,
Nice
son.
one.
Now that's an Apache Lake bass. All right, Matthew. Now
Yes,
we're on the
sir.
ball. Now we're on the game here. We'll throw some cranks in this wind. Just what I thought. Good job. Thank you.
There you go, buddy. That's a chunk
Look
right
at
there.
that. There's a chunk right there, folks. You know what I did? Matt caught that yellow bass. Look at that beautiful fish. Look at that. Just the colors on it. It's healthy.
Just
You
look
see
how
how
thick he
healthy?
is.
Look at that. How big
Beautiful
do you
fish.
reckon that fish is, son?
Oh, that's 3.5, 3 1/4.
Oh,
Beautiful
yeah.
fish.
Dude,
Good job.
thanks to you catching that little yellow bass. He caught that yellow bass, and I'm like, let's try it. It's a 5XD right there.
Another Strike King.
Yep, another Strike King bait. But man, it looks so much like that bait. The wind blowing, get on these rocks, and look what we got. And we'll use the net, because I don't think I want hooks in my hands either.
You know, as soon as you switch colors, and I was going to say that, I'm throwing that, you know,
The shad,
green gizzard shad that's translucent.
Yeah.
So that has more color to it, and maybe they can see it a little better.
that darker
And that's a
water.
rattling one too, right? Has the rattles in it? Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
So-
Man, I'm telling you, maybe we found something, folks.
Maybe.
Haven't been out too long.
we've been
We
trying
just
to
started covering a little bit of bank here.
Got it.
All right. But look at this chunk rock we're dealing with. If you look at this chunk rock where I caught that fish, he was right on that chunk rock. Bump that rock a little bit and thump. He thumped it good too.
There he is.
Got him?
Yep. Not very big.
I got loose. Oh, that's a good
fish.
one. Did you still got him?
Yeah, I still
Hold on, let me get the net. Let me get the net. I'm coming, I'm coming.
Oh.
Hold tight, son. That's a good one. Hold tight, hold tight. All right, Matt.
Oh, they're strong.
That's almost back to back right there. He retied that bait on there, got a bite, and then caught this one. This is good.
That's amazing how strong they are.
Yeah. Oh.
Come on up. Come on up.
Got him.
He swiped at it too. Did you see that? Nice.
All right. That's a nice fish, dude. Hold on. Here's your fish. I'll get your bait out.
Thank you.
Good job, buddy. Right off that point where the rocks are, huh?
God, and they're all just good quality fish. I mean, this is what, 2.5, would you say?
Oh, yeah. That's a good
2.5,
quality.
2 3/4 pound fish. It feels like a 4-pounder.
It's a nice fish, dude.
And I was just digging those crankbaits on the bigger rock. You know, they seem to be on those, you know, boulder type rock. And that one ate it nice.
You know, it's really amazing how one little thing when you're out fishing can change your day. We fished for an hour or so, drop shotting, coming down the bank, trying to figure out what's going on.
Jerk baits.
Yeah, jerk baits. And when he caught that yellow bass, I'm like, I know I got some crankbaits like that. Let's give it a shot. And because that was just a snack for a lot of these bass.
Exactly.
They love eating those yellow bass.
And I think we've told the story before. When we were catching those big 5 to 6 pound fish at Roosevelt, one of us would catch a yellow bass, and we'd know that those
Yep.
bass push those yellow bass up, and we were getting ready to get bit.
You know what was a real tip to me? Was the year that we did the show at Canyon, and we were throwing those little tiny Panther Martins, and you caught that yellow bass, and that big old 10-pounder came up
Oh,
and
that's
looked at
huge
your
fish.
bait.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's when I knew he wanted that yellow bass.
Yeah.
They eat yellow bass.
Well, and we always say, a fish that size isn't going to chase around an 1.5 inch shad. It's going to burn more energy than it gets from it.
You bet.
So they're looking for these yellow bass, and they eat them.
That's awesome. Good catch, buddy.
All right.
Good catch. And you know something else is we're throwing a 12-pound test line on it. I don't know what you're throwing. I'm
12.
throwing a 12.
12-pound line.
12-pound test fluorocarbon, because fluorocarbon sinks. That's really nice. And you got to make sure you get yourself a good rod. You know, a little medium action rod. I don't know. You're throwing one, right?
Yeah, medium action, but you want that parabolic bend so
Yep.
so those hooks don't shake
Just
out.
like that. See that?
You want it to give when he dives. Like that fish was a missile, you know, and that rod absorbs that so the hooks don't pop out.
Yeah, exactly. This Taipan cranking rod right here, nice little rod. Yeah,
Absolutely.
We'll get her done, son.
Let's do it.
Good catch.
Hey, I
You're
got
on the
one.
board,
I
son.
got
You're
one.
on the board. I love you. Let's do it again.
Yep. There he is. There he
You
is.
get him?
There he is.
Look
Out.
at this, another one.
Yeah, I cast out way off it. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I got it.
There you go. Look at they eat their own. They eat their own.
That's a little bit
Go
of
ahead.
yellow bass there.
That is.
I'll tell you what, these are good eating fish too. I just look at this. This is something to think about.
Okay.
Look where I cast. I cast straight out in the middle of the lake, you know, and those if those yellows are staging out there, those bass will push them in on that point, because that was the second bite I had off that point.
There you go.
But on that one, I was 100% dig and rock.
I got one here, but it's a little guy.
Another yellow bass?
Probably.
Good.
No, it might be a little bass. Little largemouth?
All right.
Little largemouth.
Good deal.
Just bumping off those rocks.
Yep. Well, and it's good to see that class size of fish too, because you know,
He's digging.
they're healthy.
He thinks
healthy
he's
population.
He thinks he's 10 pounds, man. Look at that. These you got to be real careful with, man. These squirrely guys, they will hurt you.
I've been hooked a couple times, a couple dozen times.
There you go. You know they had a good spawn.
Yeah.
That's another good thing about seeing some of these smaller class fish at Apache. Apache had that fish kill a while back, a few years back, and that algae bloom. It's been a long time now, but
yeah.
But in saying that, we know that they're spawning. So, and getting some of those little fish out. That's awesome.
That's a good thing. We kind of switched positions on the point, you know, because the wind's blowing into the point, so we're just hitting it from a different angle.
Yeah.
So hoping to, you know, see if there's a group of fish on there, because a lot of times, you know, these fish will travel in schools and push these, you know, those yellows up or shad or whatever they're doing, and you can get multiple fish off one area.
Hey folks, Matt's got a great tip of the week for all you people that love to use a net when you're fishing, especially with crankbaits. And this is great advice. I don't think a lot of people think about what you're fixing to say, but go ahead and tell them.
Well, that's what I say. I learned the hard way for sure. And even today we were using the net just because I don't want to get my hand down there and get a hook buried, because nothing's worse than having a hook buried in your finger and
Nope.
the fish still flopping. You know, Danny Halleck did it on your show,
Yep.
and he's man enough to just rip it out. I'm not. You know, I got to do it a different way. We've all been hooked for sure. But one thing I learned back 20 years ago fishing with my good buddy Brad Cook, he was fighting a 5-pound fish with a spinnerbait, and it was pulling. And I ran up there to net it, and I got between him and the trolling motor. So the fish started running out towards deeper water, and he tried to change the position of the boat so the fish wouldn't get wrapped up in the trolling motor. And not only did we lose the fish, when I tried to net it, all I got back, because it was stuck in the trolling motor, all I got back was a spinnerbait in the net. And he still reminds me to this day, because we would have 100% won that tournament. And the other thing that I think is pretty well known, and you know, when I first started fishing tournaments and everything, I was a co-angler, and I went to stab at the fish, you know, like try to be real
Yep.
aggressive. Just hold that net there, make sure you know, hold the bottom up like that so it doesn't snag on other rods and everything, and just wait for them to bring it to you, and then when it gets right to you, then scoop them up. So
That's right.
it might help you get a couple more fish in the boat.
Oh, that's a great advice. Don't ever get between, the net man should never get between the guy up front fishing the fish and the trolling motor in case he has to reposition. It's a great tip of the week, Matt. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. There he is.
Got him?
Yeah.
All right. He got one.
He was out off that.
Oh, there he is. Oh, I'm coming.
there's another one with
another
it.
one with him.
You want to try to
There's
get him?
another one with him.
That was
Hold on,
cool.
let me grab the net.
Okay.
Let me grab the net. Good job, Matt.
Oh, the other one was bigger too, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was. It was a lot bigger. No, that's good. That's good.
Decent fish. Oh, that other one's still there.
Oh, I can't get under it. Ah, there you go.
All right.
Good job.
See, that other one flashed
Yes.
on it again.
I saw that. Dredger, you
Yeah.
swapped up.
Well, we lost all your other ones. And that's one thing. You got to
Look
get
at
it
this.
down. You got to get it down on those rocks. And
That's
I just ticked a rock, and that good, nice fish just ate that thing.
Oh man, that's nice.
Beautiful fish.
Look at this. He swapped it up here a little bit. Look at that. And that thing's flashing in the water. Nice.
And Josh Bertrand would be proud of us.
Yeah, he would.
I did his podcast with him, and he gave me a few of these, and I really haven't thrown them that much because I can't find them.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but it's a nice looking bait.
Were you slow rolling that crankbait?
Just ticking the rocks. Yeah, it was not slow rolling it, but not burning it either.
Yeah. And that's the thing about throwing these crankbaits is a lot of times if you got a guy catching fish and you're not, a lot of times, even with any bait, it's usually the retrieve, you know? And if you figure that part of it out, you might get lucky and get a bonus.
Yeah, and we're seeing that other fish chase too. Lets us know there's more than one here for sure.
Oh yeah, that was a big fish.
So we just need to hang out here a little bit, I think.
There's one.
All right.
Yep, there's one right there off that rock.
I'm at the end of my
He feels
cast.
pretty good too.
I'm at the end of my cast.
No,
I'm
you're
coming.
good. I'm gonna play this one. I'm not gonna lose this. Oh, yeah.
Look at that one.
Little Apache Lake grass. Look at that, son.
Hooked outside the mouth again. Isn't that weird?
Man, what in the world?
They're just
They're
swiping at it.
You got him good?
Yeah.
All right. Look at that fish, folks. Look at that beautiful bass. Yeah. That's what you come to Apache Lake to catch right there. That's a healthy fish. What do you think, Matt?
I think they're all healthy. That's
How
a
big?
4-pounder, don't you think?
Jeez, that's a beautiful fish, man. So nice. Look at that. He smoked that crankbait and right off that rock. Right off that rock.
Yeah. Just making a lot of casts, and we kind of, you know, you caught one out of a pocket, we caught one off a point, and then what we're finding though is rocks that look just like that right there.
Yeah, you look at that coming off that little cement slab there, all that pebbled rock with big chunk rock on it.
The bigger bouldery rock, and that's what we're trying to key in on. And what would you say these fish are? Anywhere from 5 to 15 foot of water,
Yeah,
probably?
yeah.
I mean, you caught that one probably, it's 3 or 4, but it was real small.
And that might have been our mistake this morning. We were kind of fishing deep, thinking, you know, a lot of guys were saying, oh, we're catching them deep, but when you're catching fish that quality, I'll fish shallow all day long.
And yeah, and that's what I was thinking about. We had some friends that were catching them in that 25 to 30. But we're finally getting some cooler nights, and I think the season's changing. I think these fish are moving up into that 5 to 15 foot range.
Yeah, and it won't be long. The bass will be busting them shad, catching them on top water. It's going to be great. But crankbait fishing, man, you just can't beat it. I love it.
And you always have that chance of getting that great big one.
Yep. Let's get back to. Let's redo that again. I got to retie. Woo! No, that was good.
Nice fish.
Oh, I think well, no. Oh, monster fish.
You're the super bluegill man.
I'm a super bluegill man today. Look at that.
That's actually a nice bluegill.
Huh?
Nice bluegill.
Yeah, he's got it in him for sure. You got to be really careful with these deals. Got that, but I'm gonna need the pliers on that. Yeah, you don't want to get these hooks in your hand. I'll let him go this way. There you go, buddy. Man, we have caught our fair share of bluegill today, buddy. What a day on the lake today. I've had a good time. We figured out a little something, you know?
Yeah.
And it's been a real good time. Matt, it's always fun having you on the show, bud.
I appreciate it.
Especially when we get to come to Apache. It looks like Apache's back a little bit, huh?
Yeah, fish look great.
We still didn't catch no smallmouth, but in saying that, beautiful largemouth, and we went pretty much down, halfway down the lake. So I know that there's plenty of fish both ways. And I'll tell you what, get out and try Apache, you'll love it. And it's a fisherman's lake, let me tell you, I love this lake.
Yeah, and take that road slow, don't beat up your boat.
That's right. Thanks for joining us on the show. We'll see you next week. I'm Johnny Johnson. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about, folks.